What's going on, dudes and dudettes? So, start off with some other stuff real quick. So, yes, Derwin James sadly is going to be missing about 2 to 3 months because they're going to, I guess he had surgery on his foot and they put like a nail in there, but now the nail is bent after a couple years. So, they said the best thing to do for it is to take it out. I don't know if they're going to put in another one to help secure it, I guess, but we'll see how that goes. But it is going to be 2 to 3 months. So, excuse me, he will be on the injured reserve list, but that means as long as he's put on by like week 8 or week 10 or something like that, then he could play the second half of the season. So that's what the Chargers are definitely hoping for. There are a few guys hopefully coming back from their injuries in his same position. I'll probably get into that a little bit later in this video. But yes, somewhat of a good sign that he can come back for this season and not have to miss the whole season. Then USC had finally named their starting quarterback, and yes, like how I was predicting, it is JT Daniels. It is the safe choice as of right now, just because he's been in the system for at least for 1 year already, and was more consistent and picked up everything. But I think the more surprising thing was that Keaton Slovis, the freshman coming in this year, was named the backup guy. So it either says something about the two other guys that have been there even before JT Daniels, and Jack Sears and Matt Fink, who round out the 3rd and 4th spot. It kind of says more about them. Maybe they're not 100% able to be in these type of systems at USC while they've been there. And they probably should just transfer to see if they have any aspirations of getting into the NFL, see what they could do at some other school. But it is pretty crazy. But yes, I'm kind of glad they got that over with. Then the Lakers are trying to finally cut down who they're gonna pick to replace DeMarcus Cousins. They've cut it down to right now they're working out Dwight Howard, Maurice Spates, who's an ex like Golden State Warrior, LA Clippers guy, Marcin Gortat, and Joakim Noah, ex Chicago Bulls / Grizzlies / New York Knicks. He's been all over the place, but yeah, just a couple different guys. I prefer a guy who shoots more and plays some defense, but all these 4 guys do a little bit of everything and nothing really great at something, so it's kind of tough. You're gonna have to just choose either one. I doubt they're gonna go with the Carmelo Anthony route, but we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, that's the top news so far, so let's get into the rest of the crap. In other Duke news, at least guys in the NBA, I guess there was a voting of all the rookies coming into the NBA, and they voted that Zion Williamson would be Rookie of the Year. But as far as whoever's going to have the better career overall, they picked the other ex-Duke player in Cam Reddish, which was kind of surprising. Obviously, when you're talking about Williamson being like the best prospect since LeBron James, but I guess they just figured because the situation he's in with the certain type of team and type of stuff he can do as far as, I guess, being held back while at Duke because of the star power of Zion and RJ Barrett. But it's like, if he really cared that much, he would have gone to that school anyways to be third fiddle to them. But he still showed what he can do at times. It's just really based off of him if he really wants to push himself to be one of the top probably 50 players in the NBA throughout his whole entire career. But that's just really up to him. Then the Chargers released their long snapper Mike Wint. He's been there for 9 seasons. It's always weird because a long snapper you really don't really think about that much as far as an important position, but it definitely is on kickoff or certain like punting and other type of stuff. So, and the field goals as well. But they obviously found somebody else a little bit better, and usually they stick with the guy for as long as you can see right there, 9 seasons. So hopefully this guy can last as long. Good luck to Mike on his way if he is gonna play again or retire. You never know. Then the Chargers surprisingly signed Dontrell Inman, an ex wide receiver that used to play for them a few years back. but I'm kind of surprised because there's still quite a few talented players that were still available at wide receiver as a free agent. But obviously, since I made that graphic, Michael Crabtree has signed with the Arizona Cardinals, but I had him up there as a guy they should have targeted, along with Dez Bryant, Kelvin Benjamin, and Pierre Garçon, who I think are a little bit better at that wide receiver position than a Dontrell Inman. Maybe he just came at a lot cheaper price than most of those guys, so that's why they went with that. And he's been in the system, so maybe he could do some stuff for them, but it's really just going to be a fill-in role. I'm pretty sure he's not going to blow any socks off the place or anything like that. We'll see how that goes. And I did mention that because of the Derwin James injury, that luckily Nasir Adderley, who can play his position, is actually finally back and practicing with the Chargers. He's a second-round rookie that the Chargers picked, and he's been out with a hamstring issue, but those are type of issues you just have to let them heal on their own. You never have a real timetable for that. So luckily he is practicing now, at least 2 weeks before the regular season. So hopefully he can come back for us around that time. Then good old Melvin Gordon has been saying that yes, he's just on a wait and see for the Chargers if they're going to give him his contract or not. Apparently they're still at a standstill. Nobody's really budging at this moment, and really seems like he's going to go into the regular season and still hold out and not be with the team, which really sucks. And it's kind of dumb if he does that, because if he goes the whole entire year without playing, the Chargers still have the rights to him next season, so he's still kind of stuck on a crappy contract anyways. So he's better off just coming back and getting whatever he can and then asking for a trade. I don't know. Do something now before it's too late, I think. But then they're talking about Taylor Horton-Tucker, the Lakers' second-round draft pick that they bought, being like another steal in the draft they've gotten late in the first round of the second round in recent years. Yes, they have found guys like Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, even though he should have been pretty much a first-round pick even before that. But yeah, a lot of those guys they found, but they always F up in the beginning of the draft when they had top 2 picks for like 3 straight years. They always pick the wrong guys. And yeah, so you guys do very well scouting everywhere else, but when it comes to the main person you're supposed to get, that you've been lucky to be able to choose that high, you guys suck. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, that's that news. Alrighty, to end this video, we got both Tyler Vaughns and Christian Rector of USC making the all Pac-12 first team, which is really awesome. Congrats to them. Definitely well deserved going into their senior years. Definitely glad they came back. And yeah, hopefully they can improve their draft stock as well going into next season. But we also had a little bit of injury news that they haven't really reported much about. It's just been coming out on social media and crap like that, where Solomon Tuliaupupu, he's a linebacker who was a 3-star out of modern day, but I really wanted him to come to USC, even though that year they had so many linebackers coming in, but I thought he was key, but he missed all of his first freshman year because of injury, and now he's had surgery recently, so I don't know how long he's going to be out. It's going to suck if he is out again, but he technically can use another red shirt if he wanted to and still be considered a freshman, even though it's his 3rd year in college. But yeah, hopefully he's just not dealt with injury bug all the time, because I think he could be a very special player, especially for USC. Then we also had them reporting that Marquise Stepp has been getting a pretty increased role at the running back position for USC. He basically is number 3 on the depth chart behind Via Malapai and Stephen Carr, but he definitely is a bigger guy that could get a lot of red zone targets to look at. So that should be pretty cool if they do that. But yeah, as of right now, that's what they're going to stick with, him being at the 3rd position. But if there's any other injuries like there has been the past couple years with those guys, then should be fine. But then also with transfer portal news, Isaiah Tufaga. He was a freshman for Oregon State last year, who did pretty well playing for them with a lot of the injuries that they had as a freshman. But he's looking to transfer just because they have a lot of older guys coming back from those injuries who are going to take his position basically, which sucks for him, but he's shown he's been very more talented than his 3-star average coming out of high school, and adding a talented player at that position to USC is always a benefit in my opinion, so I hope he would choose or look at USC, looking to see if he could transfer there. And we'll probably have to sit out a year, but we'll have 3 years of eligibility left after that, so that'll be cool either way. But yeah, a couple of like random movie news. They're asking that there should be another Mighty Ducks movie, which obviously those 3 movies I grew up on when I was a lot younger, they all came out, and it was awesome to always see those type of movies come out. But it would be pretty interesting to see what they could do nowadays to like revamp it, like they do everything, like redo or a prequel, whatever, but maybe redoing it with some other younger actors, see what they could do, see if it could be as good. I doubt it, but always looking to see new stuff, even if it is a remake, because if I hate it, then I could always go back to the old stuff and still like it because it's still there. Then also like random Matrix news that they're gonna make a Matrix 4 with both Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss returning, which, spoiler alert, if you don't know, both basically died in the third and final Matrix movie, so I don't know how that's gonna work out. And they didn't say if Lawrence Fishburne would come back either, but they are working about making it about a younger Morpheus, his character. And I know Warner Brothers has had talks with Michael B. Jordan about playing that character, which obviously I love Michael B. Jordan. He's one of the top actors out there right now, and especially young actors, so it would be cool to see him be there. But I don't know how the story would work, but I guess one of the Wachowski sisters would come back and direct it, not both, which is kind of interesting news as well, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And of course, all you Marvel fans out there, Spider-Man doesn't look like he's going to be a part of the lineup anymore for the Disney Marvel movies, which kind of sucks because he was doing pretty well, even though I kind of preferred Andrew Garfield's version of him, who played Spider-Man prior to Tom Holland. But even though that second movie was met with a lot of mixed bags, and even I love and hate it sometimes, I still thought he was a better Spider-Man. But now that some things like Venom is doing really well, and they're making like 2 other type of base villain Spider-Man movies at Sony, pretty sure they said might as well just bring him, because I can understand that the main producer, Kevin Feige of Marvel, is going to be busy with X-Men and all that stuff coming into their stuff now that they bought Fox, that he won't have time to really produce and do the good movie when Spider-Man is separate by himself in like a standalone movie. But I don't know, I heard that Disney was trying to ask for like 5 times the amount of money than what we're gonna get anyways, than what they're already getting, which is pretty crazy. They're just trying to be a-holes about it and everything, which kind of sucks because you wouldn't really think that from Disney, but I guess they're just doing it because they already know that that producer is going to be too busy to even worry about Spider-Man right now, which sucks, but so we're going to have to deal with. There's so many other characters that there's going to be involved in those movies. But thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what y'all think. Yes, it is August 22nd today, my birthday, 29. Yes, I didn't think I'd make it either, but like my mom told me earlier, it's the last year of my 20s, so enjoy it, make good while it lasts, and definitely going to do that. But thanks for all the birthday wishes already today, and the ones to come, obviously, whoever watched this after. But yes, thanks a lot, and have a great rest of your day.